So this is quite a simple video, and I just wanted to sort of make sure that we're all clear here that Linux is amazing. We love Linux. Um, we're kind of obsessed with it. You don't just get into Linux. One does not simply casually try Linux. But I just want to make sure that even though we are talking about distributions and we have our favorites, like I said, the amount of OpenSUSE content on here clearly shows it's my favorite. But we've got to remember, and I have to remember this as well, that we want people to use Linux. We want people to be excited about it, just like we are. And we've just got to be careful about siding too strongly with one distribution. Because I get it, I'm a big football fan. So I get the sort of rivalry between clubs. But in the end of the day, we're all football fans. And I just want to make sure that we're all on the same sort of page with Linux here, because there's been a lot of infighting for years. This is the best distro, Zipper sucks, whatever, this is rubbish. And it's okay to have those opinions, but we just need to try and make sure that we are respectful and kind of nice about it. Because with SteamOS right now, the amount of Linux viewers, and because like this channel is growing now because a lot of people are discovering sort of the newer Linux stuff and going, I've no idea. And we've got to remember that we want them to search for content about certain distributions or Linux in general. And we want them to think, oh, okay, this sounds quite interesting. I'm interested, not just slagging off certain distributions because we don't like it. Because it's not a good look. So we've got to remember, we all have our favorites. Of course we do. And it's why we all distro hop so much, because we like to test out other ones. And I think we've got to remember that we can jump around, take our favorite bits from one, find something else that feels like home. If a project starts going in a different direction, like Ubuntu did for me, which I used for years, I didn't just put a tirade up about how they suck and how I hate them and this is terrible. I just moved to a distribution that fit my personality or fit my values a bit more. And will that change? Yeah. I might see OpenSUSE do something I don't like anymore. I think, do you know what? I don't want to be associated with that anymore. It's not interesting to me now. And then I move on to something else. I move on to Fedora or NixOS or whatever it is. So I just think we just need to be careful as a community of people who really, we all love Linux. It's fascinating to me, but we've got a lot of people coming over now from Windows mainly. It's just totally sick of it. So let's not give them an excuse to go back. Let's bring more people in, because the more people we have using it means the more bug testers we have. It means the more feedback requests we have, the more feature requests. It means game companies will go, do you know what? We should probably make a Linux version of this because there's so many people using it now. The fact that, which I can't believe has happened, that Epic are making a native Linux app for the Epic store. Whatever you think of the Epic, I get the political stuff, but whatever you think of them, it's a huge game company. And the fact that they are making a dedicated Linux app to run their store is huge news. They didn't want to be left behind by Steam. Steam are ploughing through, leading the way, with SteamOS. And Epic realised they're being left behind. And that's exactly what we want. And we are on a pinnacle now of new users joining. And that's awesome. We love it because it is a bit nerdy. But we've got to remember that we're going to have people coming over here now who probably can't even pronounce Linux. They're still calling it Linux. I still hear that all the time. But they're new. Let's not give them grief about it. They might say, how do you open this exe? We've just got to educate them, help them. That's why, I have made this channel, this GNU to Linux. I made this back in 2013. It's like 13 years old, this channel, this account. And I always had the idea of, I was new to Linux then, and I wanted a place to go where I could find the absolute basic stuff. And that's what I'm trying to make now. Basic guides, basic videos. Am I a technical guy? Absolutely not. I know hardly anything about Linux in comparison to most people you probably watching. You probably know way more than me. I'm just a user and I need to use it, and I just need to find ways to use it. I know some basics about Linux, but not much. I'm just trying to find the people who are a step or two behind me and just need some help. So with you guys helping, watching, commenting on the videos, I love your stories. You've all been very positive. I really appreciate the feedback I've had in the comments. And I just want to make sure that we are encouraging new users and pointing them to these, not specifically my website, but any websites that offer help and guides, or if you know the answer, offer your help. Let's bring them in. Let's get them going. Again, we're all going to have our favorite distributions. Don't give them grief about it. I know, like it made me laugh. I'm sure you're all watching the Linus Tech Tips videos where he's new to Linux, they're discovering it, and he chose Pop OS. I mean, I don't like Pop OS at all. Again, Ubuntu based, not interesting to me. And when he chose it, I was like, oh no, that's a terrible choice. But we need to let him experience it. We need to do that. I know everyone's just choosing CachyOS right now as well. That's fine. I don't particularly want to use it, but I'm interested in watching them use it because I like to see where it's strong, where it's weak, and how they're using it. Same, the other guy chose Bazite. Again, I thought that was a terrible choice. But it's interesting to watch because I don't use those distributions, so I get to see them in action and see where their sort of weak points are, which I don't enjoy, but I like learning about it. And I'm still pleased with my OpenSUSE choice. Like I said, that may well change in the future. I may find something else that suits me better. Right now, that is suiting me perfectly. So I'd love to know, please let me know, why did you choose the Linux distribution that you use? How did you get into Linux? I mean, these are separate questions that I'll probably make a separate video on each, because I would love to know the story of how people discovered Linux. So we'll go easy, and I'm not going to go into it more. I'll do a video on that because I think it'd be quite interesting. But I need you guys to comment and give me some feedback. And like I said, if you're finding these videos helpful, please make sure you like it. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours before February 2027 to try and beat the doubling of those numbers by YouTube that's happening in February. So help me out. Let's go. And I hope to bring you some more cool Linux content. Let me know if you've got something you want me to cover. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, everybody, and enjoy your distribution.